Hey guys, good morning and Merry Christmas. I had to share this story with you this morning because it happened last night. I apologize if this video is a little longer than normal, but this is an incredible story I think you'll enjoy on service and contribution, and something that your families can benefit from as well. So yesterday, Alden and I had a board meeting scheduled, and in December we try to do a board meeting that is a theme of goodwill. And what he had chosen to do is we were going to go to a VA nursing home, but we got out there and we hadn't filled out all the paperwork and they couldn't let us volunteer. So here we are, pretty bummed that what we had planned to do we couldn't do, and we're bummed for a few minutes, and then we thought, you know what, let's figure something out. We can get creative. We're here together. We just had a nice meal together. We're going to make the most of this time that we have scheduled together. And so we start to come up with ideas, and I pull off to a supermarket right there, and I pull out, go up to the ATM with him, and I pull out $200. I said, Aldi, we're going to do something really special with this $200. I don't know what it is. You're going to figure that out. We're going to figure it out together, and we'll make it happen. So we were starting to think, what are some nice little gestures? What could we do? The first thing we came up with was we could help someone buy groceries that looked like they were in need. So we went into this supermarket a little ways down in St. Augustine, and I swear to you, no one was there. I've never seen anything like it. There's no one in the supermarket in the late afternoon. So we felt, this isn't right. Let's keep driving around. And then Alden came up with the idea saying, okay, you know what, it's Pizza Friday. And he feeds the homeless for his experiential school like twice, every 2 weeks or so. And he said, let's buy pizza for the homeless. I said, that's a great idea. So we drive around the town square in St. Augustine. There's no homeless people there. I'm like, man. I said, you know what? Some people will show up. There's always a few homeless men or women there, and we want to help them. Let's go. So we drive down the street to a pizzeria I've never even been to called Carmelo's. And we get out, we go in, and we just ordered these colossal pizzas. We're sitting there waiting for it, and right across the street's the police station. Alden and I start talking about the police and how it's a tough job, and you know, there's lots of crazy stuff going on. So I'm not getting political or right or wrong, but I just said, you know what, maybe we do something nice for the police as well. So he's like, what do you want to do? I said, well, follow me. So we get up, we walk right across the street into the police station. There's a lady in there filling out some pretty serious paperwork. She finishes, we step up to the counter, two nice ladies, but they can tell they're very tired, and they say, can I help you? I said, yeah, my son and I are just out doing some good cheer for the holidays, and we wanted to buy all the police officers pizza for tonight. It's Friday night in St. Augustine. I know they're going to be busy, and you could have knocked these ladies over with a feather. They're like, what? Are you serious? Oh my gosh, okay, sure, here's, you just have to have, I said, can Carmelo's bring it over from across the street? And they say, absolutely, no problem, just ask for this name. And they said, what are you and your son's names? And I said, no, our names aren't important. We're not doing this for any recognition. We just want to do something nice for you guys. You guys work hard, and it's Christmas, and we want to do something nice. And I thought, ooh, this could help me get out of some parking tickets, but it's not what it was all about. So we didn't leave our name. We refused to give our name. We walked back over to Carmelo's and order a bunch more pizzas, and asked, could you just walk this over to the police station and don't tell them who we are? And they didn't know who we are because we were paying with all cash. And they said, well, what is this all about? And we said, we're just doing some nice things for people. And Alden's getting excited now. The pizzas are getting ready to go over to the police officers. Our pizzas for the homeless guys are ready. We go up to the town square with this, it's this colossal pizza thing, and there's one homeless guy in the center gazebo in the town square of St. Augustine. Big, strong-looking guy, tattered clothes. You know, it was obvious he was homeless, and we double park because I'm known to do that, and walk up to the town green and walk up onto the gazebo, and the guy gives us a light little wave, you know, and I said, hey, I said, we had this extra pizza, and we wanted to give it to you. We thought that you might like some good pizza. Merry Christmas. And Alden tells him Merry Christmas, and this guy just lit up. He lit up and was just like, really? Oh my gosh. And he stuck his hand out to shake my hand, and his hand was really dirty. And without hesitation, I took his hand. He had a firm handshake, and I shook his hand. And I'm a little ashamed to think that, you know, I almost held back from shaking his hand, but I thought, wow, what a bad example that would have set for my son. Who cares about a little bit of germs when we're given the respect of another man who was really grateful for the gift. And here's the cool part. This is the most amazing part. This is where it gets really exciting. Alden and I go back to the car, and I pull it off a little more so we're out of the road, and we watch this guy just light up. He had been there by himself, and all of a sudden he's calling to some of his buddies around the park and sharing the pizza. Just, hey, walking around. Two homeless men were sleeping. He woke them up, gave them a slice of pizza. So here's a guy who had nothing. I mean, obviously nothing. And his first point of action was to share it with all of his friends. And Alden and I just were pretty amazed just to sit there and watch this all unfolding. It's a crowded St. Augustine holiday season, but we watched this whole thing without him knowing. And I just said, Alden, we need to go get this guy some more pizza. He said, oh, absolutely. So we go back down to this pizzeria, Carmelo's. I said, Alden, you're going to go in and pay. It's up to you now. This is you. I hand him the rest of the money. I said, let's get a bunch more pizzas for this nice homeless guy. I called him the captain because he seemed like the captain of the group after that. And they go in, and the ladies at Carmelo are like, what are you and your dad doing? This is the craziest thing. I mean, we're just ordering tons of pizzas out of this little pizzeria. And Alden's beaming. I can see them talking in there, and I just stayed in the car. Pizzas got ready. We loaded the car back up, go back up to the town square. Right now, the police officers are definitely chowing down on pizza, going, where the hell did this come from? And the ladies had said, oh, these officers will eat anything. So hoping they got a good meal, and it was paid forward with whoever they were dealing with that night. And we get back up, and our friend is still there in the center of the green. And we get out, we're carrying all these pizzas over, and he gives us a little wave and goes, hey man, thanks again for the pizzas. And I said, hey Captain, you know, I just want to let you know my son and I watched you when we gave you that other pizza, and we watched how you, first thing you did was share it with all your friends, and man, that's a good sign of a good friend, and that's something I try to really teach my son, and it's a powerful lesson, you know, and seeing your generosity in that, we figured you could use some more pizzas. And this guy just, I mean, he got teary-eyed and just said, man, why, this is incredible. Why are you doing this? And Alden and I just said, because you matter. And it was a good lesson for Alden to see. And this guy just broke down. And I just said, you know, you matter. And you deserve to have something nice done for you. And it's Christmas time. And we want to do this. And he said, this is incredible. He gives me another firm handshake. And he says, you know what? I have a lot more friends up the way near one of the churches. I'm going to bring the pizza up to them as well so I can share it with them. I said, you do whatever you want with it. But Merry Christmas. And thanks for setting that example for my son of being a good friend. And sharing and being such a leader in that. And this guy was just floored. I mean, not as floored as Alden and I, because Alden and I were pretty touched to watch how grateful he was. And here's one of the cool parts. We went back to the car, and we watched him, happy as a lark, you know, walk off the town square and disappear. And I turned my phone on, because we have our phone off during our board meetings, and called my wife. I said, Pizza Friday has a whole new meaning. And I tell her story. She's like, this is incredible. Oh my gosh. And Alden and I are driving back through town on our way home, and Alden's like, Dad, look. And near the side of this church, there are about 15 homeless people lined up, all with a big smile on their face, all eating a piece of pizza. So it was... we're kind of cheering and high-fiving each other, and my wife is listening on the phone to this, and it was a pretty magic moment. And the funny part for all the patient wives out there, my wife said, that's great, honey, can I ask, did you remember to pick up our pizza? Which I hadn't. So it was Pizza Friday for us, and we had given out all this pizza, and I had no pizza for us, so I had to make another run. I didn't go back to the same pizzeria, but I had to stop at another place to get pizza. We came home and shared the story, and it was an incredible lesson of service and contribution that I try to teach the boys. I think it's such a powerful thing that we can teach the kids, something that, you know, when I look back, I was a selfish little prick when I was a kid. I really was. It was always what's in it for me, and I think my boys have a little bit of a different perspective. And I think the best thing we can do is kind of make awareness and give some priority to that powerful lesson of service and contribution. And $200 is not chump change. It's not. But for a lot of you, it's not a lot of money. And if I had just, if Alden and I had just taken that $200 and put it in a jar, not that that's not good, not that that's not important, but if we had, it wouldn't have really taken us to the level it took us to. But being able to use that money to get creative with it, to create something of goodwill together, and to experience the reaction, to see all the people who are hungry light up, and to see this man who just got the chance to shine as a leader and share with his friends was just absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to give that to you guys around the holidays. Family board meetings is all about reconnecting with our kids, and if you get the chance to do something, you don't need a ton of money to do this. And it's even better if you don't have a ton of money to do it, because if you can get creative and share it and get totally out of your comfort zone, because believe me, it felt weird us walking up and feeding pizza to this guy and offering it to him. I didn't know if he was going to scream or take offense. I mean, it's never been the reaction before when I've done this, but you just never know each time. And it was a moment that I know Alden and I will never forget. And hearing him talk to my wife later on, I'm glad that we had messed up and weren't able to volunteer when we first did, because we were able to get creative and figure this out. And again, Pizza Friday has a whole new meaning for us. We'll never look at it the same. I've been doing it since I was probably 4 years old as a kid back in Jersey, but I'm glad that we got to share that moment together. So I hope this story inspires you to maybe figure out something creative and generous to do with your own kids. Of course, not just the holidays, any time of year, but it's really extra fun this time of year. So anyway, love you guys. Long message, but hopefully a cool story and something that you'll get to inspire to do with your kids as well. See ya.